All right, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully, the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies, we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall body, and two, we're naturally alive. Is that Pete's? Pete's pizza there texting me. It's good that I get text from them. But anyway, yeah, man, I want to get to this because you know what it is. I was talking about the coworker yesterday, and actually, I was just talking about this. Actually, this was a scripture of the day today, man. But this all ties into represent let's go Exodus real quick. And it all deals with our conduct, how we represent our Father which is in heaven, and also too how we represent. That's why I like to know how our people are at, know how our people conduct themselves, how to operate. This is the psyche and the spirit and psyche of our people. You have to know of the Israelites, man, of our people. You have to know how women and children act, man. Because because nowadays, man, especially me working in schools, me working in schools for over 10, working with children over around 10 years, and also too just seeing also too with women now because it's no different, because it's all a spiritual mirror as an aspect in that because I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters as well notice this as well, man, because I'm noticing now, no, it's high now, but it's always been going on generations. But especially the children nowadays, they don't care about their name, man. Their family name representing their father, their mother, their grandparents, or whoever. Even if they didn't have that, represent their guardians, right? They just don't care. They just don't even care. Because me coming up, my generation, we still care. We were kind of on the teeter into that. It was kind of like the segue into now, but still we had old school core values just on the natural tip, like even the word aside. But nowadays, man, this is shameless. They just don't care, man. So also too, man, you got women out here a lot of times too. Women don't realize too how they act and conduct themselves, even if they're married or not. Even if they're technically, if you how long you've been together, you're pretty much married. You don't of course, if you want to legally have sign a contract to get married and things of nature through Esau's system, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, if you read the word, sometimes we had that, because if you read Tobit, there was a marriage license in that, technically, if you want to go there. But even if you're not, man, this is how you represent your husband or your man or your significant other, man. A lot of times women, they don't care, man, because hence people, women like Jada Pinkett Smith, or that then again, that goes into what Will Smith tolerates, and that's a him problem. But even years ago with Aisha Curry and all that stuff when she was doing, and I'm just using those women as examples, but it's all a reflection of how we act towards our husband, the Most High house, how we as a people, especially men, act towards that. That's why he said, listen, in Hosea, I won't punish them though, how your woman shall be, or Amos, your woman shall be harlots in the streets, and he says in Amos also too how your woman act, but I won't punish them. But no, what he's saying is not that he's not gonna punish how our these modern women are acting, or especially our women are acting. But he's saying, listen, you're gonna have bear this, because that's how you're acting towards me. But back to the point, man. It's just people just don't care about representing the name, man. That's why we shared that clip of weeks ago, with Marlo from The Wire, man. My name is my name. I see why he went off about that. He had some he was upset about that, because yeah, man, your name is your name. That's man, your name brings power, man. That's why let's get this in Exodus 20, man. And go just get this in Proverbs 22 real quick, man. Because it all deals with our conduct. That's why that Romans 2:24 says that. But we're gonna go into it. Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. It says, "And thou shalt." It's crazy. I'm gonna look at this. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, and for the Lord will not hold him guiltless. Him that taketh his name in vain. So what's that taking his name in vain, man? Is how we live, our conduct, man. And I find it ironic that that was in the 7th verse, because 7 means completion. So yeah, man, this means completion, man. Complete, this is serious, man. Had to have complete faith and walk with him completely, walk with the Most High in your house shot completely, man. So that's just is what it is right there. So it says, "Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God name in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless, and taketh his name in vain." Yeah, exactly, man. So and that's just it is what it is, man. Taking how we how our conduct, how we represent him, man. That's just And I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, man, that's is what it is, man. Because a lot of yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. Because a lot of times too, even with this whole past stuff with these different congregations, these different camps, or even like even outside of like outside of the knowledge in the word, man, because especially like in the word, like the Brashalta brothers sent me firstborn, because I had to watch, especially I had this thought years ago, but now like as far as like looking at it from the Most High Yahushua's standpoint and spiritually growing and like trying to spiritually mature, man, you gotta realize one, this is not about us, it's about the Most High Yahushua and their will. I mean, we play a big role, but it's about them. And two, man, it's just like and that's this is what it is. That's what I was gonna say. Because a lot of times when something happens, when somebody gets caught, like with doing something wickedly, or the Most High House exposes certain things about certain individuals in the word, like a lot of times too, especially in the word, I know this is in knowledge. We say, oh, this makes us look bad, us as a nation. But shout out to brother send me firstborn, because like he said, man, listen, do we ever stop and think like how that makes the Most High House look? Even not even just in the word, not even people in the word. People outside the word, or and just in the whole spiritual sphere, man. Just like like in the Christianity or Jehovah's Witnesses, or like or Baptist, Pentecostal, Mormon, whatever, man. You're supposed to be. If you say you represent him, you got to come correct, man. That's why Ecclesiastes 5:1 says this. But also too, man, it's the fact that I know it is the fact that, because listen, that's why like that the whole debating and like it's all about the Most High House. Because listen, I understand it though. Here's a play about it though, because a lot of times too, like when say somebody like in the word gets caught like doing something, then you have a group of Christians, a group of Jehovah's Witnesses over here saying, "Oh, see, because this is why this is wrong. Because look at this is the individual." But see, then you got on the same side, like doing the same thing, or you got the Jehovah's Witnesses and Christians. Like, say if a pastor gets caught doing something, you got people at the Kingdom Hall saying this about this person, like this and this and this. So my point is that whatever wickedness or something that somebody's doing, behavior, that of course that person, or like even you got people that don't believe in the word, they're going to they're going to just to try to attack said belief system. So that's off the action, even though of course we know that not all people in that set belief system act like that, but that's what it is what it is. So I understand at that point. So I understand why people say that, like, oh man, this is making us look. I understand it, but one, it's not about that though. It's about one representing the Most High House. I just like the brother from the assembly of the firstborn said, like, because a lot of times too, like, listen, even though I don't agree with a lot of times, like, his stances, like, some things I agree with, like, somebody like Martin Luther King stances, things of that nature. A lot of times, like, people, especially in the word, like, go at him, especially during that time, like, they go to I Have a Dream, and they go to Jeremiah 29, or a lot of people just attack, the people in the word, outside the word, are people inside the word, outside the word, but more in the word, attack him for that, and stuff like that. But it's more what should be mentioned with him is that, okay, he deemed himself as a preacher, or somebody that represented the Lord, and like look at the things that, of course, that he done. So I'm just using him as an example. So that's just is what it is, man. It's more about like you representing, coming in the name of the most high house shop. So like let's get this Ecclesiastes 5:1. Cause yeah, man. Cause we ain't even fully get into it, man. But it's all good. Ecclesiastes 5:1 says, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of Yahweh. Be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. Consider not that they do evil." So yeah, man, that's is what it is, man. Come correct. Watch his step. Like yeah, man. This is not. Listen, he not just anybody. Like seriously, man. Like Aaliyah said back in the day on Are You Somebody, God watch me back, because I'm not just anybody. He's not just anybody, man. Most on your house, he's not anybody. So you got to come correct. Like, when you come to him. Yeah, I'm talking about me as well, man. More it's true. I'm mainly talking about me. How my conduct, how I operate. Things I need to work on, man. Because, like, like we always say, when they experience, like us, man, they're supposed to experience the Most on your house shot, man. And that's in different fractions as well, man. Because, like, honestly, man, because, I met some, like, I meet, like, different brothers and sisters, even though they're not in the word, like, what you call them, in the word, in the knowledge, per se, but in the faith. But But they do have aspects of that, like of the spirit of Yahushua, the spirit of Christ, man. But I pray that they come into understanding. But yeah, man, it's definitely like that, man. And that's and all it is too. It has to get to the point, like the brother sent me first one said, it has to be about the word, man. Like that's always what it is, man. Because like we can talk and converse with different people. That's what Sarai goes into, man. Not avoiding a godly discourse, man. So that's just what it is. But yeah, man. So like that's just is what it is, man. So that's what really we should be representing, man. I was actually talking about that. She's Jehovah's Witness too. My stepmom earlier, she said something true. Like, listen, we had to pretty much she was saying like what I'm going into like in a roundabout way when he was texting earlier, man. That's just how we represent the Most High Yahushua, man. Even whatever set belief system you are, even if you into Christianity or a Jehovah's Witness or Pentecostal Mormon, like you're supposed to have that, man. But of course, like I pray that they come in the word. But hey, listen, that's up to the Most High Yahushua. But still, man, having those aspects, man, that's just is what it is. Because it's like the brother sent me first one said, people had to see the benefit of serving the Most High Yahushua through your behavior, man. And so this is what it is, and I'm talking about myself as honestly as well, man. Cause yeah, man. So honestly, let's get this all right, man. Cause this is why. Cause going into like we said about children, man, like you had to know how people act, how to have children act, like and women and children act. Let's get into this, man. Cause I was listening and reading the Sirach, I was reading Sirach. I was listening to Sirach Ecclesiastes audio the other night, and I was and I was and then the scripture popped out to me. Oh gosh, where's it at? Okay, that's not it. Man, should be nobody should. Hold on, y'all. All right, peace. Okay, I'm glad I ain't cut off. Yeah, so back, yeah. So Ecclesiastes 11:28, I thought it was in 16. It says, "Judge none blessed before his death, for a man shall be known in his children." So yeah, let's look at this spiritually, man, because even being the most wow, man, that's kind of deep right there. It says, "Judge none before his blessed before his death, before a man shall be known in his children." So yeah, man, it wouldn't be like John 1:12 says, listen, Yahushua gave us power to be sons of the Most High Yahushua, man, to be sons of them, man. So but it says a man is known by his children. So what's that saying, man? How on the spiritual tip? Because remember what Yahushua said, John 6:63, my words are spirit. How when I'm conducting myself, how I'm just gonna say for me, man, I'm starting talking about me, man, but how when we I conduct myself, how is that that's how the Most High Yahushua is like a man is known from his children. Look at the state of our people, man. That's why Romans 2:24. I was gonna say, but yeah, that's why, man. And then we're gonna hit this Ezekiel, probably close out then, man, because look at the state of our people, how we acting, man. Like that Public Enemy song, man, like on the interlude of Night of the Living Bassheads, man, when they used that Farrakhan speech, he said, "Listen, our people, we lost our we lost our God, we lost who we are, and how the state of it, how we act, and it's damn near how we lost our minds." And that's true, man. Classic song, by the way. But yeah, man, that whole interlude, I'm not sure what speech that was, but Farrakhan was right on that one. Hey man, that's just to state how we act, man. It's like golly, but but still, it's just, but that Mark 6:34 always for me, I'm pretty sure for y'all brothers and sisters too, not just me, that just let's get Mark 6:34 real quick, because we see that too, but that's where you have to have sometimes compassion that those that are without, but it's still it's still, man, just seeing the state of our people, man, it's just like, oh my gosh, but but yeah, man, but this all how we represent him though, especially for us, we in the word, man, seriously, man, because what I was and you have to know too how because one, it really shouldn't separate you, but even the sister, a woman I was talking to a while back, man, some few months ago, damn it, last year, she used to be Muslim, man. And actually, it's a perfect time to talk about this. But she used to be Muslim, but she said, because you gotta know psyche of people, man. A lot of times too, how you act in a certain belief system, or even in the word, outside the word, though, man. But more importantly, in the word, how you act can affect can affect other people's faith. Now, is that on totally on you? No, because like, listen, that Romans 8 is clear. 35 is clear. Like, listen, nothing should separate the love for the Most High Yahushua. But even still, you gotta understand everybody doesn't have the same measure of faith. But still, that's still in play. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter because listen, at the end of the day, because you're like, just like I'm pretty sure y'all had like natural fathers, like y'all had fathers, and like y'all pops used to tell y'all, even y'all those that didn't, y'all guardian, whoever is over y'all, like I'm telling you, listen, what did I tell you to do when you got in trouble at school or something? Listen, I'm not worried about them. What did I tell you to do? That's how the Most High Yahushua is. But still, at the same time, that how you behave, like it can affect other people's faith. Because she was like, she used to be Muslim, and she said, listen, she took it very seriously. She said I would go to all the classes and like take it seriously, but the people around her be drinking, smoking, and she be like, yo, we not supposed to be doing this. But eventually she that probably affected her faith, but like affected her faith, and she eventually stopped. But also too, like just she did that. That was probably. She wanted to do her own thing too, like, so she really just didn't want it. But she ended up saying, listen, if I'm not going to fully be in this, I'm just going to walk away from it. So I kind of respected that, but but it's about the same with that. But yeah, man, but my point is bringing that up is the fact that how you conduct yourself, how our conduct is really key, man. That's just going to represent the Most High Yahushua, and two, for like for the flock that just is coming in, man, or like but just for fellow fellow brothers and sisters, man. In the body, in the word, man. So that's just is what it is. So let's get Mark 6:34. It says, and Yahushua, when he came out, she saw much people and was moved with compassion towards them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. He began to teach them many things. So yeah, let's get this Romans chapter 2 verse 24 to the point, like that we were making earlier. It says, because this is like, a man shall be known by his children. And that's why, look at this. It says, for the name of Yahweh is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as is written. So yeah, man, and how much more in the body, of course, like this stuff talking about our people as a whole, but like how much more, of course, like in the word, man. So let's say our conduct, man. I'm still like talking about myself, my conduct. I gotta be mindful of that, man, because that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, man, that's why, like, listen, like, because listen, like Psalms 4 and 2 goes into it, man. We profane. Let's get Psalms 4 and 2, then get Ezekiel, man. We profane the Most High Yahushua's name, man. So that's why, one, he died for his name's sake, man. I'm just doing the all strength of this is who I am. Then to clean up y'all mess, what y'all did, what we did throughout our history, man. Throughout us as a people, man. Seriously. But see, that's how, like, that's how merciful and how, like, long suffering, how just so strong, how different of a man the Yahushua was, the Most High Yahushua was. Because listen, because he said, listen, you've been stiff neck, like rebellious ever since I met you, man. No natural man that's in his right state of mind. Because listen, you have this in each. It happens in like time, and at the time in the decades of time, we had men that did that, but no man in his natural state of mind, a regular manly traditional man with honor and respect is going to deal with a woman like that. It's just not. He's not. But see, that's where that mercy comes in, man. So and also too, he's a man of his word with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But let's get this. Psalms 4 and 2 says, "O ye sons of men, how long will ye return my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing?" So yeah, we turn his glory into shame, man. Like that's why, listen, he did it for his name's sake, man. Because listen, like because a lot of times too, like especially when I first came to the world, listen, like because what it is too. It's the fact that, listen, okay, like we find out, like because I came in conventional, we find out, listen, we the people of the book and things of that nature, and a lot of times too, that's where the mentality comes in. Listen, just thinking it's just about like us. Listen, we play a big role in it, but it's about the Most High Yahushua. Because listen, the Most High Yahushua. Yahushua just didn't die just for, well, he did die for our sins. That was a big thing. But listen, that wasn't his, and it was to save us from sin and death. Like, but also too, that was for his name's sake as well. Like, cause a lot of times too, we can think like, he did live his life for us. He did, like, but that's more a testament of him than the than us. Honestly, their character than us, man. Like, you know. But and Paul also too. That's that love. That's actually love. Like, you know, because he didn't have to do that, man. And a lot of times I can get entitled to that forgiveness or think that he had to do that, man. Because like the brother sent me firstborn said, a lot of times too, I noticed you gotta be a rare type where you have to be born or like, you know, it has to be bred in you to understand this thing. A lot of times too, people aren't going to respect things that they didn't work for, and that's a fact, man. Because you know what? Even something like this, or even something I was just reading The Art of War earlier, or there's something like the brother sent me first more perfectly said, man. Things that like people don't appreciate things that they didn't work for, because you know our ancestors, a lot of our people died just for reading, man. And you know a lot of times, and I get everybody's not a reader, but I'm saying okay, you know at least take some time to read a little bit, one book. Some else gotta be the most extravagant, most extravagant or most analytical or complex piece of literature. It doesn't have to be that, but read something, man. Like, you know, but because a lot of our people die for that, and you know this too. I'm glad, and this kind of goes back to this generation, man. Because it's like, you know, because listen, me, I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters growing up, y'all did, and like no, because my mom was a teacher. Like, listen, during summertime, we had little summertime book reports. I was talking about this like last year with my homie. Like, all right, cool. You're going during summertime, you're gonna do this because like you know we'll read this and stuff like that. Then play PlayStation, go outside. So yeah, we like you know we had all that, even more than the generations that came before me, man. But now it's just different. But you know. But yeah, that's why I love like you know when I see some of my students they just like to read for fun, read for hobbies. It's a like you know extracurricular activity. That's one of the hobbies that they like to do when they're bookworms. It's a beautiful thing. But also that's just one aspect of like you know like you know something that you didn't work for, not appreciate. That just popped in my mind. That's why Revelation 1:3, even on the natural tip, is very key. Blessed is he that readeth, man. Because like, but back to the point, man. When you don't work for something, man, you're not gonna appreciate it as much, man. Because you're gonna look like, oh, okay. But you know, that's why even like you know. I learned that me personally, I learned that when I was working for a city, because even before when I was working for a city beforehand, I wouldn't litter as much, but sometimes when I did, like you know, I was like, oh, all right, cool. But now after like, you know, when I was working for a city, like, you know, having a job like that, cleaning vacant lots, alleyways, doing block sweeps, cleaning around the city, you have again respect for it more because you know how the grind is, cleaning neighborhoods. So you know you're not gonna leave trash on the ground. Like, no, man, I just put it in my bag, put it in there, man. I don't do that all the time, but majority of the time I try to do that, man. Or even sometimes when I do see a piece of trash, it's like, okay, cool. It just comes habit, man. Because like, no, that's part of it. I'm not trying to like, no, beat myself up. I'm just like saying this is that. I'm just using those as an example, something I had to learn, like you know how to do that, man. Now, do I do this every time, all the time? No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, my point is being that when you don't work for something, you're not going to appreciate it as much, and that's what that Deuteronomy 9:27 goes into, man. Because we're benefiting off of somebody else's righteousness, man, off our forefathers' righteousness, man. So that's neither here nor there, man. But Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 22. This wasn't the verse. I think 43 was Ezekiel 36 was the verse. Was the chapter or but this wasn't the verse of the day. But I'm gonna read this too. It says Ezekiel chapter 36 and 21. But I had pity for mine holy name, but which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, where they went. Therefore, unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord, how I do this not for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether ye went. So, yeah, man. Because listen, man, he said, listen, I don't do it for your sake, I do this for my sake, man. Seriously, because like that Psalm says, man, and like no, we took his glory and shame and profane and like blaspheme his name, man. And his name, like Marlo said in The Wire, man. His name is the name. His name is his name, man. Like you know, let's get. I didn't get Proverbs 22, man, but. You know, that's why David a lot of times during his prayer and a lot of the righteous like you know people in his book says, "Oh, please, Father, do this for your name's sake, you and your house's name's sake, man." It says a good name, Proverbs 22:1. It says a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Yeah, man, it's a good name, man. On earth as it is in heaven, man. Like how I said in Matthew 6, man. Because you know Like, you know, I know y'all brothers and sisters want this, and yeah, I know I want this. My name to be good in heaven, and of course here on earth as well, man. Both, man. Because listen, all these righteous, the sons and daughters of, uh, of the Most High Yahshua, they got testimonies. They're written in heaven, like more importantly in heaven with the Most High Yahshua and on earth, man. Either guy here, man. So that's just what it is at the end of the day, man. But you know, have regard of the name, man. So. Of course, man, it's a balance, of course, because like Genesis, like Jacob did, said, listen, let your righteousness speak for you, but still be mindful of one of the Most High Yahshua's name, more importantly, but also too of your name, man, too. So that's just what it is, man. But that's also about our conduct and representing them, man. Honestly, man. So, but hopefully it's edifying, man. So, peace.